Hi, I'm Miro. I'm a TNT champion.
This is Rachel Ellering, the Queen of Strong Smile.
I'm Eric Bischoff.
Live events, all right, when the WWE comes on the holiday tour, when they come to Ireland.
Or Davy Boy without hair braids.
As a fan with braids, as his daughter without braids.
And you
Are watching
WrestleSlam.
WrestleSlam.
And you're watching WrestleSlam.
Right, guys, welcome to a brand new episode of WrestleSlam. It's been a crazy week, a crazy 14 days. Over 50,000 views on YouTube via WrestleSlam. That's not including all the TikTok stuff and all the tweets and all that kind of stuff. But yet again, I just want to thank Jared, Elizabeth, Tim, Matt. And believe it or not, Phil is actually stuck in traffic. It's a catastrophe because Phil's always here. But look, Phil, we know you're stuck on the bus, my man. There's a car crash in Cork somewhere, and he's stuck in the line of traffic, so we do apologise that Phil's not here. But yet again, been a crazy week. DDP dropped last night. We had Mero on with us, AEW TNT champion. We've had Eric Bischoff. We've had so many names. There's so many more names to come. It's been a crazy couple of weeks. Now, DDP has dropped last night, so do that, check that out. And we also got to do the quiz with Liz with DDP, which was huge. I think, I'm in shock that the quiz with Liz wasn't the number one trend on Twitter last night.
Me too. What's that about? It will be next week.
Why? Why wasn't it number one trend? Like, you know what I mean? It was trending, but why wasn't it number one? Like, who cares about all the stuff in America and all these big, world-breaking newses? The quiz with Liz should have been trending. Just noticed that Tim is wearing an awesome Manchester United jersey. Tim, it's not a sports show in related to football, but look, obviously gutted that United lost that Europa League final, yeah?
Could be worse. We could have finished below us.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's a good one. Very nice. Very nice. Nice, steady reaction. So I'm going to go into some headlines, guys, right? Now, Rumour Mill does tell us that John Cena is about to make a sensational return to the ring. Tim, is it going to happen, yes or no?
It's going to happen, but it shouldn't.
Why shouldn't it happen?
Because you can't just go away for over a year and come back and go straight into the title picture.
If The Rock done it, would you be unhappy or happy? So The Rock done it a couple of years ago and we came back, he won that belt, right? It was pretty good, right? So Matt's after freezing. Sure, Elizabeth?
Tim's in just total shock. He's just like, what? What are you insinuating?
You mentioned John Cena, and now he can't see any of us.
Oh, he's back. You were in shock. Look, do you think it's good for business or bad? Obviously, look, the ratings are low. Surely Cena coming back will fix this, Tim.
No way. No. No comment.
That's a Tim Cornette comment.
Totally.
Right, Matt. Look, I know you're a big John Cena fan, right? And we love that picture with your dad and John Cena. That's something that goes back a while back. But look, what's your take on this whole Cena thing? Heavily linked to be coming back. Kurt Angle put up a little tweet to say, so you're telling me there's a chance. It looks like that Cena's going to come back and maybe make that impact that we all want to see come back.
Yeah, I personally would love to see John Cena come back because everyone knows who John Cena is, even outside of wrestling. Tim, just relax. Let me just explain. But I personally like to see John Cena coming back. It'll be a bit different about himself being in the news. So I know it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but I'm still pulling to see at least him taking on Roman. I know that's a huge talk for SummerSlam, but maybe have the fella of WWE, which is Roman Reigns. As I said before, he's carrying the company at the moment, but that's just me facing the fella who used to run the company in John Cena. I know we probably... What's going on with my hand? Anyway, never mind that. But I personally want to see just John Cena coming back. Even though people won't be up for it, I will be definitely up for it. And I think it'll be good for WWE, especially for how things is coming on Raw at the moment. Because Raw is still going downhill, slowly coming back up. Not as good as Smackdown, of course, but if John Cena comes back in WWE in some way, get people to tune in. Even WWE fans of John Cena will be hearing this and they'll definitely tune in. So again, I know with stuff going on with John Cena at the moment, but I would like to see it come back anyway. Definitely.
Love it. Journalist a bit. Look, we all know Cena. You know, he's a multi-time world champion. You know, he's been around that business for a long time. Obviously, gone that same direction as Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Gone into the movies, and he's doing quite well. Is it good news or bad news? He's back, sir. If he doesn't.
I'm pretty upset with him at the minute. He always talks about, hustle, loyalty, and respect, and he lost all respect. I lost all respect for him this week whenever he had this fake apology to the people of China for calling Taiwan a country, which it is. It's just China don't recognize it as a country, so it was just propaganda shit like put out there by the producers of Fast and Furious. Told him to go out because he could speak Mandarin, throw him under the bus and tell him to apologize to the people of China. It was like, what about the people of Taiwan? Like, why aren't you apologizing to them? Like, why does nobody ever apologize to them? So there's no reason at all why he should have went under the bus like that. He bent over backwards. He bent over in front of the producers of Fast and Furious franchise and just said, like, take one for the team, and he did. And being rumored now to take on Roman Reigns, like, for years he was slating The Rock for going off to Hollywood, and I know he admitted to saying, he was wrong about The Rock, but he said before he left that they wouldn't take anybody else's spot. He doesn't think it's right to come, to go away and then come back and get a title match. It's not right. And he shouldn't get a title match against Roman. What has he done? Like, I know he's had a great career, but what has he done between now and SummerSlam to get a title match, over anybody else who's been busting their ass? And that's the same argument all the time when people come back part-time, like, is why does Goldberg, why does The Rock, you've seen years ago when The Rock came back, what it did for CM Punk, like, he just had enough of the place and fucked off, like, what's stopping anybody else on the card right now, the likes of, Aleister Black or Seth Rollins getting pissed off that John Cena is going to get a title match at SummerSlam and they're not. It's not fair.
Yeah, you're right. Liz, what's your take? Obviously, look, Cena, he's iconic in the company, but, like, you think it's, obviously, like, when Joe was talking here, maybe it's the case that maybe Reigns will drop the belt before SummerSlam, Well, who knows? Like,
to be honest, you can't take away from Cena his value, what he's worth, and kind of where he's put WWE. You can't take that away from the man. We know that when he was all in with his wrestling career, it was, he was 100% dedicated to the cause. All the respect in the world for that. Doesn't fit in Roman's picture at the moment. I personally believe he doesn't fit in that whole scenario. It's too soon. Yes, love to revisit the promo because I think it would be fitting that storytelling comes full circle, and that when Roman fluffed his promo with John Cena all those years back, I think it would be great to go full circle on that and give Roman the opportunity to go over on John Cena in a promo. Roman doesn't need to rap. Roman doesn't need to diss anybody else. It's his presence and how he delivers it in such a slow pace. But I don't think so for now. To be honest, I think they're going to whack John Cena on Raw. They have a John Cena on Smackdown already. Do you know what I mean? I would much prefer to see him on Raw because there is no figure on Raw. Bobby Lashley hasn't been built up as the man. Drew is still loitering kind of around in a little bit of limbo. And you've Braun Strowman. Like, who else is on Raw? So I think they're missing that Cena-esque figure there. So I think he'd be better off on that. Further down the road, for sure, I would love to see that full circle with Cena and Roman Reigns. If The Rock came back now, he would fit into the picture and the storytelling because he's family. John Cena would just be lamped in there because, we've got crowds back or it's SummerSlam, whatever it is, and we just think that Cena's our go-to guy. Times have changed. We've moved on.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Raw, I think, yeah.
Have to agree 100%. No, I'm going to switch to some quick rumor mills. Obviously, there's rumors that obviously Eva Marie, we know she's supposed to kind of be somewhere in the company, but there's talks though that she might not wrestle. There's talks that she is at the Performance Center. There's talks that she's going to manage someone. Also switching to Velveteen Dream, we touched base on him last week. Reports suggest a high-profile star in the company reported Velveteen Dream at some stage in his time in the company. And obviously, there's more accusations coming out and stuff now. So look, it looks like what we spoke about in last week's episode is making sense. So anyone that didn't see last week's episode, do check it out. It's on YouTube right now on the Sports Matters platform. Right, guys, I'm going to talk about AEW. Okay, Double or Nothing this weekend. before I get back to Raw and SmackDown. Now, it's going to be a massive pay-per-view. We had Mero on the show with us, TNT champion. Obviously, he talked a lot of, a lot of vibes about Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega. He couldn't give Kenny a bit of props, but he did say he'd crush him. Obviously, talked about Forbidden Door and stuff. But this weekend, Double or Nothing, guys. It's a massive pay-per-view on the AEW, sector. Joe, Elizabeth, are you going to check it out?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%. I don't think there's ever been a time in the last 18 months that I have been so excited for wrestling. So excited between Double or Nothing, Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, live crowds, buzzing, absolutely buzzing for it. This week for Double or Nothing is going to be something else. Really, really strong card. Few predictable matches for sure. We all have an idea of who's going to go over and what ones. Yeah. But pumped, absolutely pumped for this pay-per-view. The other stuff that's going on with the cans, etc. I mean, that's a whole other kettle of fish. But if there's truth to the rumors, fantastic. I'm even more excited, And even though, there's no competition, by coming out and addressing the rumors, for sure there's rivalry and competition. The build for Double or Nothing, as I said, the card's super strong, but the build for Double or Nothing, I'm more concerned that this morning when I woke up, more people are talking about Tony Khan dropping bombs than they are about Double or Nothing. And that, I don't get me wrong, I thought was hilarious. And the memes going around about in New Japan on the phone to the wrong can are hilarious. But, I just kind of thought it just took a little bit of shine off it for me, because I could see more people were talking about that than they were about Double or Nothing. So I was kind of a bit, oh man, I was like, could you not have just waited a little? But either way, funny promo as it goes, and super pumped for the card.
Awesome. No, we're seeing a lot of rumors. There's a lot of rumors that this weekend, AEW, there might be a couple of surprises. Jor and Matt, do you ever reckon that we're going to see Daniel Bryan appear out of nowhere? We've seen something similar with Moxley. But look, the rumor's not too heavy, to be fair. The rumor is not, it's not very predictable. Can we see Moxley or someone appear? So, when we hear that rumor, we're like, right, we don't know if Moxley's going to be there. But look, the rumor Daniel Bryan's floating about, he's going to appear at Impact or AEW. It might happen. George, you reckon if it's going to happen, it's going to be this weekend at AEW Double or Nothing?
I don't think so. I think it would take away from the rest of the card if he appeared, because the Casino Battle Royal isn't going to be the last match of the show, and everything else would have to live up to something like that happening. Like somebody that big, like Daniel Bryan or even CM Punk coming, that would be a great one to come. Somebody wins the title, the number one shot, and All In is in Chicago, or if Punk did, but it's not going to be Punk either, but it'll be somebody big. But if it's somebody that big, it's going to take away from the rest of the card unless they close the show with that card. That match. I'm not sure who it's going to be.
Yeah. Now, Tim, I can see you're up to all sorts. It's like you're dancing in your office. You're
my phone was about to crash.
You're on a big salary, Tim. But look, Tim, AEW this Sunday. I know you're going to watch it because you're always a Nighthawk for this stuff. Obviously, look, it's good news that Sting's going to be with Darby Allin, Mero versus Archer. It's a good card. It's packed. They certainly know how to pack a card. Obviously, look, Omega versus Orange Cassidy versus Pac. Do you think there's going to be any surprises, Tim? And do you reckon we're going to see anyone appear out of the mist? I
agree.
He just loves freezing. Matt, I'm going to go at you, brother. Tim is freezing. He's an absolute, I think he's just getting too big for us all together.
He was watching Batman and Robin last night. He thought he was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He's in negotiations right now with someone else. I can see he's trying to look for more money. He's so popular. Matt, AEW, it's a big weekend. Do you reckon it's going to be a massive pay-per-view and a massive card ahead?
Yeah, definitely. Because what I always enjoy about AEW is before a pay-per-view, they know how to leave their audience wanting more and loving to leave it leave Dynamite as a cliffhanger. Looking at the card, I'm very excited. When you mentioned about Daniel Bryan showing up, to be honest, if he is showing up, it'll be great. But I'm not gonna lie, I can't see him in AEW because at this point in his career, I just see him as a WWE guy.
Yeah.
To be fair, but it's gonna be like if you can think about AEW Revolution when Christian Cage made his debut. It wasn't fantastic. It wasn't brilliant. To be honest, the best debuts in AEW was unexpected. Like John Moxley, when he debuted, it was literally only a few days when he was on Raw. So that kind of like made it like that much pop that the AEW crowd definitely got. So I kind of agree with Jer. Was like if Daniel Bryan is showing up, it kind of will not ruin the show, but it'll kind of show the rest of the card out. But definitely I'm looking forward to Double or Nothing on the Monday because I have a mentorship class the next day, so commitments unfortunately. But no, I'm definitely loving AEW. I'm buzzing to see Nero taking on Lance Archer after watching the interview. And I've been, for some reason, I'm listening to his theme song Best Man for about a good 20 times this week after the interview, Jerry. So I don't know if that's a problem, but besides all that, I'm definitely looking forward for Double or Nothing. This will be a good one, definitely.
Definitely. No, I'm going to switch to obviously SmackDown, lads. We like to talk about SmackDown. Yet again, another interesting show. The Usos are back, and guys, they look good. John Elizabeth, they really do look good. Like, we've seen great tag teams over the years, but like the Usos have that gangster kind of style about them. They're obviously impressive, and it's good things moving forward.
Yeah, well, you want to say it? We were talking about this earlier. Their promo, the bit between them at the start before the match was amazing. I loved everything about it. And I said it, I was like, this should have been a pay-per-view match.
Yes.
Like, this should have been the build for a pay-per-view match because they give it away for free. And it's just the old cliche of WWE don't know how to build matches on pay-per-views unless there's a title involved or a stipulation. And Street Profits and Usos should never, it was a great match. I loved everything about it. They fucking, it was a good 4 or 5 star match for a tag team match. You start off SmackDown, but that belonged on a pay-per-view. And I just hope that they keep them apart until maybe SummerSlam now and the title's on the line because I love everything they do between each other. And I obviously there's going to be something happen between the Usos next week or whatever happens between them, but eventually that match down the line and a big pay-per-view card will be epic.
Yeah, like I think the last time we seen a brother versus brother match, obviously look in fiction it was Kane versus The Undertaker, but obviously Bret versus Owen. Like these guys are shit hot guys. Their value's gone skyrocket. Like obviously Roman being the head of the table, Jimmy and Jay. I always liked them as a tag team, but now they just have this, as I said, this gangster vibe about them. Like these guys could main event WrestleMania. So is it the case that look, Jimmy and Jay are going to have that falling out, or they're going to really fuck over Roman, and Roman's going to drop that belt, and then maybe that opens the door for that match with Roman versus Cena at Mania. Sorry, not Mania, at SummerSlam, and Cesaro, someone wins the belt. But do you think? Like, how can you see it pan out? Is it the case the Usos actually are going to, fuck Roman about? Or is it the case Jimmy and Jay just have that little fallout and they have that little divide? Like, Elizabeth, what's your take on that part?
To be honest, I don't think, now, again, it's WWE and we don't like to bash them. But, I don't think there is a way this can go wrong. Every avenue, if done correctly, is a success. Like you said it yourself, Ger, the Usos always fluid, but they now have an edge, and it's just taken them to that next level. And I'm glad it has, because when you're up against a team who are as charismatic and to me, the Street Profits have everything. When you're up against a team like that and you've been around the block a few times, you need to switch direction a couple of degrees, and they have that edge is killing them. So as Jerry said when we were talking about it earlier, we for sure that is a main event pay-per-view caliber match. They work so well together, and they are going to have even better matches. You can tell that they have great chemistry outside of the ring as well, because it was just fluid. They work so well together. So a great build for that. I think there was a missed opportunity with the Street Profits and the Usos and Roman and Bianca Belair, when they brought out all of the champions onto the ramp on SmackDown and then introduced Roman as the Uber champ and the superior champ. Was that last week? What did I say last night? Last week, yeah. Right, so when they done that, I think they missed an opportunity there for Bianca to be a little bit put out, because she has the sass and the attitude that would have been a nice build from her going that we only wear gold in our house, and then she's the champ, and then she's brought down as kind of a lesser champion than Roman, and then you've got the Street Profits and the Usos. That could have built to something fantastic and would have been great storytelling over a few weeks to a pay-per-view tag team match. I really hope they don't mess it up, but like, that's gold. Those two teams fighting are gold, you know. Hopefully for the gold. With Roman and Jay and Jimmy. Do you know what? It's like, do you know the film that we all watch, that rom-com where it's, do you choose the sexy, gorgeous, rich fella, or do you choose the fella who loves you for who you are? You know what I mean? So I feel like poor, like, Jay is in the middle of that love triangle, and kind of like, Jay, go with your heart, you know. That's kind of where I am. Yeah. So, but like, you know, there's no scandal unless you go with the good-looking guy, like, you know, not even lovely, but like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, but yeah, do you know, that kind of a way. So, they can't go around. So it's really hard to see where it's going to go, but I am so here for it. It's going to be cool.
I love it. That's a proper insight, Matt. Like, what's your take on this, Matt? It's very hard to follow that. That's proper insight. Where would you get it? Tim's on the phone asking for an extra 20 grand an episode, and Elizabeth's giving us the in-depth fucking talk. Tim, fuck off. Elizabeth, you're getting a raise. Matt, what's your take?
God's sake. Anyway, playing favourites. I was just going to crack a joke and ruin a bit, like, to Elizabeth. So, if it's a rom-com, is this going to end with, like, a chase to the airport?
Someone always gets hurt in the end. Who's going to get hurt?
You see Pretty in Pink.
I love it.
Oh, great. Anyway, I'm losing track, but yeah, but my thoughts. I personally want to see the Usos still on the going for the run for the tag teams just for a bit longer. Mainly because I said this on the podcast a while back, but I can be here and there with the tag teams in WWE, to be honest. And I know once upon a time we all feel like the Usos is putting on the same matches over and over and over again in the tag teams, but they've been in the game long enough. They know how the tag teams work. And if they go after, I'm just going to say randomly, Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio, and they win the tag team titles, and somehow they join Roman Reigns, that will make the tag team championships like more deserving, like more like this is the title that all tag teams need to go after, instead of just being there as a prop. Because I always want to see the titles being used as something that you want to get noticed. So if we see the Usos with Roman Reigns, like Roman Reigns being the head champion and the Usos as the tag team champions, that'll make, you know, all these titles like more deserving. And, you know, I wouldn't shoot like behind the scenes, but maybe like Jimmy's going to try and actually convince Jay to not be with Roman. And I know that there'll be like slow building family drama, bit of trust. That might lead up to, like what Jerry said, up to SummerSlam even. Like maybe it's going to go into a full-blown rivalry with Roman Reigns or even John Cena back to Cesaro again. Because I can see this being like lasting for at least a good year. Just like of these three lads actually taking over SmackDown while also talking, and that'll be leading to something big with the Usos and with Roman Reigns. That's kind of why I feel like it's going to be like kind of making Roman more unstoppable and bringing the tag teams back into, you know, being taken seriously instead of just like as a prop. But that's what I just like feel like. That's what I think. So not fleshed out as Elizabeth, but still. That's mine.
I love it.
Couldn't expect anything less, Matt. Couldn't expect anything less.
No, we could talk for 2-3 hours on any show with in-depth, you know, Raw and SmackDown results. Obviously, look, when it comes to SmackDown, Nakamura is kind of on the way up again. Shinsuke, you know, I just feel like ever since that WrestleMania 34 when Nakamura fought for the title and didn't beat AJ, I think it's kind of gone backwards for him. But look, seems like he's only up on SmackDown. Raw, obviously Kevin Owens fought Apollo Crews as well. That was a good match. I don't know what's happening. It just seems like some matches are at a standstill. Speaking of Raw, Covey and Drew ended in a no contest. We know Monday Night Raw. They're both going to fight again. The winner will face Bobby Lashley. Lads, Covey's actually getting a big push. And the rumour mill actually suggests that he might actually beat Drew McIntyre, which is interesting. What's going on? Is there something in the pipeline? Is there something in the previous stats that suggest when Covey was champion, ratings were pretty good?
Yeah, it was all right. He was a good champion. Like, there was nothing wrong with his title reign. It just, you knew it wasn't going to end well for him eventually. Like, it was just...
It ended in the worst. It probably ended the worst ways. Like, it
was terrible. I felt so bad.
It
made him feel like a placeholder. Like, it didn't make him feel like he was ever champion. Can you remember any of his matches? Like, when you look back at his title reign, I can't remember who he defended against. I know he had a lot of defenses, but all you remember is Brock Lesnar beating him in 8 seconds. You're not going to remember it. So it's a shame that they did that. Yeah, he might get a title match. Maybe Bobby will cost Drew the match and have an easier match against. He'll think he'll have an easier match against Kofi, and whether it ends up in a Hell in a Cell match or just at TLC, it's hard to know. Like, but I think it's just more of a we'll put Kofi in here for this pay-per-view, and then next month we'll get Drew again. It's not Drew 3 matches in a row. So we'll give people some bit of difference, and it's just what they did with Drew's run, against Randy. Like, 3 or 4 pay-per-view matches against Randy. Like, it's just like, put Drew away from the title picture, give everyone else a run, let Kofi go at it, let whoever else is on the Raw card who's never had a title match, bring back whatever's going on with Keith Lee. I don't know. I hope he's okay, mentally. I don't know if he's injured or what's going on with him. Like, but I think when he comes back, he should be put straight into the main card picture.
I hope so. Nikki Cross is trending. Finally, she's getting that bit of a push that we all know she should get. Matt, look, obviously, she's a fellow European. She's kind of been down and out for the last couple of months, but it seems the last couple of weeks, producers and the team are behind her, and she's causing Rhea Ripley a few problems. Do you think Nikki Cross could be onto something big moving forward?
I can see Nikki Cross being going full forward, at least for the women's title picture. I wouldn't say that would see her like winning the title, but if she actually has a good title run against Rhea Ripley, that'd be unreal. Because, like you said, she'd be kind of like down and out with WWE. Because the last time I can recall seeing her was with her What the Fuck rivalry with Alexa Bliss. I did enjoy it, but I thought maybe, since we all know who Nikki Cross is at this point and how she's actually being taken, kind of coming to herself as her own character in some way, I think WWE should definitely use it as a title picture. Like, if she wins the women's title down the line, it'll be unexpected, but I'll personally be happy for her. But if not, it'll be good to see her being used well in some way. Like, so I can see her with Rhea Ripley, and we can see where we go from there. So as long as they don't, like we did before, like just like push her aside somewhere after this one rivalry. So definitely, yeah.
There's only been one European champion, or not one. There's only been kind of one UK champion. That's Paige, is it? Am I right to say that? Female? Just Paige?
Yeah.
Drew was the first UK. So, maybe the whole, Scottish thing, Nikki Cross becoming champion would be nice. Yeah, I think that would be something that would be nice. Guys, I want to talk to you about, obviously, look, we know Sheamus is doing a lot. Matt Riddle is on a bit of a good run, obviously doing the RKO there recently. Jackson Riker, guys, he defeated AJ Styles. It seems to me this guy's getting a big motherfucking push.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think he is. And even as well, he has, do you know the way Vince appreciates hard work? And I don't know if you've seen him on Twitter, but that man is ripped to shit. Yeah. It's actually frightening. He is in probably the best shape of his life. The best thing ever was when he dropped all that extra weight, not his own weight, but what was hanging around him when they were gone. I think that was a huge move for him. Delighted he's getting an opportunity, to be honest with you. But as I said, we know that Vince appreciates when somebody puts in the work. He likes when people look the part as well. And as we've seen from documentaries this week that shall remain nameless, if you look the part, you can kind of get over without having the rest of the package. Yeah. But he's kind of an all-rounder. He's got everything. He's the real deal. And I really, really hope that they put him on a decent run. you know, but yeah, all for it.
I love it. Like, obviously, we've seen Elias. Like, Elias, fuck me, Elias was legendary. I always remember Elias.
Yeah.
And obviously, he got the big pushes with Cena coming back to face him at Mania.
He needs a crowd.
Yeah, it's interesting, but it seems that we're seeing the same stuff most weeks on Raw, and as of late, SmackDown, there's a lot of kind of matches being repeated and stuff. Now, I understand they're trying to build storylines and stuff, but what's your take on Riddle? Obviously, Matt, look, Riddle's, you know, he's done a bit of work around the Orton, you know, a bit of a tag team going on, a bit of a bromance. Obviously, he looks like he's turning heel. Are you liking this Matt Riddle stuff?
Yeah. Wait, are you saying it to me, Joe? Are you just saying
sorry,
Matt?
Yeah, two Matts.
Okay.
Matt Riddle, Matt. Yeah, sorry, Riddle. I should call him Riddle. Sorry.
It's like we have two Matts already in the podcast. Like, Matt, what do you think of Matt Riddle, Matt? Matt? But anyway, I mean, at first I didn't know how to feel about it, but to be honest, I know we're talking about Matt Riddle, but Randy can make any bad storyline into something gold, I think. So with him being with Matt Riddle, I can't see Matt Riddle being a heel. I could be wrong. He could turn heel. He'll be brilliant, but I just can't see him turning heel. Like, I think we did know that Randy apparently did say he would like to be in a rivalry with Matt Riddle. So I kind of like seeing Matt Riddle and Randy Orton like being a tag team, kind of like this what the fuck bromance, and then leading into a rivalry. And even if Randy's going to get the upper hand against him, it's going to still make Matt Riddle look good. Or even if Matt Riddle wins, it shows that Matt Riddle is ready to be, that he's not just this one star that won the US title and done and dusted. That's kind of what I believe. I can't see him as a heel, to be honest, Jerry.
Yeah.
I could definitely, because to me, he's like Rob Van Dam. He was never really a heel, but like the fans still love him, so I feel like they're gonna do that with him. Even if he's a heel, people just gonna get behind him definitely. So that's what I feel like.
Love it, lads. Yet again, a massive packed show. We had Timmy holding the phone line for a ransom, looking for extra money to be on the show. Phil, unfortunately, was on the bus on the way home, and there was a car crash. So yeah, it was like an NWO invasion with Tim going on and off and off and off. And every time he went on and off, the money went up. He was asking for more money every time he went on and off.
And me, I'm stuck in oblivion that for some reason my hand is like getting devoured by the WrestleSlam podcast.
Shit's going up on this episode. That's all I'm going to say. Guys, don't forget to check out the quiz with Liz. It's on the DDP video and the Eric Bischoff video. Now, there is a YouTube page set up for clips. It's called the WrestleSlam podcast / clips page on YouTube. Now, we're working hard to get the rest of the videos, all kind of snippets on that, so give us time. Check out the WrestleSlam Twitter page, SlamWrestle / WrestleSlam. Jor is doing an incredible job operating that as always, Jor, so thank you very much.
Shout out to Irish Wrestling Tees as well for the Paddy Morrow t-shirt.
Oh, legend.
It wasn't free, by the way. This is not a paid promotion or anything. It's just supporting Irish brands.
We love it. Now, there's talks of OTT is going to be back soon, guys, and obviously Phoenix. We're going to get in touch with OTT and Phoenix shortly. And we're going to get them on for a special show. Don't forget as well, guys, Mike Bailey, that interview will drop early next week. We have a couple of more this weekend as well with some really big up-and-coming female stars and future stars. Also, Ring of Honor stars on the way. So just keep an eye on the Twitter page for everything. Check out the quiz with Liz. Tweet WrestleSlam. The Facebook page and Instagram it's up and coming. That's all I'm going to say. We'll dedicate time to them soon, but look, Twitter's where it's all at, and YouTube. Jordan Elizabeth and Matt, thank you very much. Tim, thank you. You're not getting the extra 20 grand. And Phil, we'll see you next week. Guys, have a good one, and thank you very much.